After my surgery, my family promised to help me recover. Instead, they went on a ski trip and left me alone without food or medication. When I called my brother, he said, "Don't guilt trip me. We're on vacation, not your servants." I just whispered, "Thanks for showing me who you really are." 2 weeks later, I made a decision they didn't see coming. They bombarded me with 32 messages. "Please talk to us, we're begging." Okay, not even sure how to start this, never posted in here, but I'm so mad. On. I gotta get it out somewhere. Not looking for advice, just need to say it all. Sorry if I ramble. This happened in the last few days, but honestly, the weird vibe started before that. So, I had surgery on my left knee. Nothing wild, not like near death, but real recovery time. I can't really walk right now, can't drive. My family said they'd help. I live in the bottom half of my parents' house. It's all everyone chips in. All the time. My parents, younger brother, he's almost 30, married, no kids, lives across town. I'm the oldest. I've always been the one who handles stuff, you know? The one who gets called if something breaks or someone needs a ride, or there's a family thing to organize. I kinda get that I'm not always easy to deal with, but I've always been reliable. The recovery instructions were super clear. I need help with food, stairs are a no-go, someone to bring my meds at certain hours, some stuff with bandages. Family all acted supportive. Mom made a whole group chat for surgery support plan or whatever. Only like 2 days before surgery, my brother starts acting weird. I heard him in the kitchen talking to his wife about not postponing the trip again, and he'll be fine, he always is. I let it go, figured maybe he was just stressed or whatever. My brother's always kind of treated me like I'm faking it. Like if I'm sick, he'll joke that I just want attention. If I ask for help, he'll roll his eyes. I know he thinks I'm too soft, and my parents, especially my mom, always say things like, "He doesn't mean it, he's just teasing. He's got a lot on his plate. TBH, he's always gotten away with stuff." When we were younger, he'd break something, and I'd get blamed. Not even exaggerating. Surgery day happens. All good. My mom stays with me the first night. Dad pops in and out. I mostly sleep. Next day, it's just me and the TV in the living room. Mom texts that she'll be late. Brother's got errands. I text the group chat. Nobody replies for hours. Day 3, no one comes by in the morning. My phone alarm goes off for my meds, but I can't get up fast enough to reach the stupid shelf where they left them. I text again. Nothing. I call Mom. It rings out. I'm annoyed, but whatever, maybe they're just running late. I wait until lunch. Still nothing. I'm getting hungry and lightheaded. Fridge is empty except for some expired yogurt and mustard. Nobody's refilled it since I stacked it with freezer meals before surgery. I try to make it up the stairs and almost wipe out. I call my brother. It's on speaker. I can hear wind and music. He says, "What's up?" I say, "Hey, where is everyone? I need help." He laughs and says, "We're on the road, man, headed up to the mountain." I'm like, "What? Who's we?" He says, "Mom, Dad, wife, him. They're going skiing." I don't get it. I say, "I'm literally stuck here. I can't even get my meds." He sighs, says, "Come on, don't guilt trip me. We're on vacation, not your servants." Says I'm a grown man. I'll be fine. I always make a big deal out of stuff. I say, "This isn't a joke. I'm actually in pain. I need you to come back." He says, "Sorry, we planned this. You'll be okay. Just order delivery or something." I just whisper, "Thanks for showing me who you really are." He hangs up. I stare at my phone. Group chat is silent. I try calling my mom. Voicemail. Try Dad. Same. I text my aunt. She says, "Oh, I thought you were with the family on the trip. Are you sure?" I send her a pic of my leg brace in the empty kitchen. She just sends a thumbs up emoji and says, "Let me know if you need anything." I spend the next few hours in this weird haze of hunger and anger. I find some old crackers in my room and just eat those. I order food, but the delivery guy can't get into the house, so he just leaves it outside. And it gets cold before I can drag myself up. I try to laugh at how dumb it all is. Later that night, I hear my neighbor's car in the driveway. I ask him to help get my food from outside. He looks at me like, "Dude, where's your family?" I make some excuse. I try the group chat again. Nothing. My brother's wife posts a selfie on her story. All of them in ski gear, big smiles. I see my parents in the background. I can't sleep. I just keep replaying that call. I get angrier. Not even sad, just mad. I keep thinking, how did we end up here? I've covered for them so many times, cleaned up so many messes. I'm not a saint, but I've never just left someone helpless. I stay up planning. I start making notes in my phone, listing every time I've bailed them out, every favor, every bill I covered, every time my brother borrowed my car or crashed at my place. I start thinking about the family group finances, the way everything's tied together. I'm not saying I'm going to do something wild or illegal, but I'm not just going to sit here and eat crackers. I'm not waiting for an apology. If they think this is over, they're not paying attention. I've got nothing but time and a lot of receipt. Not even sure what the next move is, but I'm done being the family backup plan. Anyway, If you've read this far, thanks. I'll update if anything happens, but for now, I'm just pissed and making lists. If anyone's got tips for getting revenge without breaking the law, not gonna let this slide. Not this time. Update 1? So yeah, I'm back. I guess I wasn't expecting so many people to read or care about my last post, but I appreciate y'all letting me vent. I'm still in this house, still got my knee all jacked up, still no one's shown up in person except the neighbor that one time. It's been a full week since the ski trip thing and I'm just here, eating microwave noodles and getting madder every. The weirdest part is how quiet it's been. Not just the house, which is too quiet, but like the group chat is a graveyard, not even a meme. No one said anything since my brother hung up on me. You'd think someone would check in, at least pretend to care. I keep finding little signs of what they left behind. Like someone left a half-finished mug of coffee in the sink. There's winter coats dumped by the door. I check the fridge again, still empty, except for the same old mustard and some cheese that's gone hard. I keep opening the fridge expecting something to be there, even though I know there's nothing. I started putting together a list of missed meds on my phone, just to keep track. I've got alarms going off all day. I tried moving some stuff downstairs so I wouldn't have to risk the stairs, but honestly, it's a struggle. I slipped once. Not a fall, just a weird slide against the wall, but it freaked me out. I tried texting my aunt again. She says, "Are you sure they left you like that? Maybe you misunderstood." I said, "Come over and see for yourself." She just says, "I'm too busy." I called my cousin thinking maybe he'd swing by. He says, "Man, I don't want to get between you and your brother. You guys always fight about dumb stuff." I said, "It's not a fight. I just need food." He said, "Why don't you get grocery delivered?" I said, "I did. Nobody to help bring it in." He says, "IDK man, that sucks." So I start ordering everything in small batches, like one meal at a time, because I literally can't carry bags. I'm spending way more money than I should. Not gonna lie, I'm annoyed at myself for not planning better, but I didn't think they'd bail. My brother's wife posted a pic of her new ski boots. My mom commented so proud under a photo of my brother at the top of a hill. Nothing to me, not even a like on my post about the surgery. I started documenting stuff. Took photos of the empty house, the kitchen, the missed meds. I have a spreadsheet of every time I've helped them out, paid for stuff, fixed stuff, bailed them out when they were broke. I'm not even sure what I'll do with it, but it helps to see it all laid out. The part that's making me go nuts is how everyone acts like this is normal. My brother has always been allowed to treat me like I'm exaggerating, like I'm just sensitive. I get it. He's the favorite. He's always gotten away with stuff because my parents think he works hard or whatever. I guess they think I'll always just handle things, no matter how bad it gets. I was on video call with my mom's friend. She checks in sometimes. She's cool. She said, "Are you sure you're not just being dramatic? Maybe they thought you'd be fine." I said, "I literally cannot get food. I missed meds. I can't make it up the stairs." She changed the subject to her dog. I get it. Nobody wants to believe a family can be that cold. I wouldn't have believed it myself a few years ago, but here we are. One night I heard someone at the door. I thought maybe it was one of them, but it was just the neighbor again. He was taking out the trash and heard my TV. He asked if I was okay, and I just said, "Yeah, all good." I'm not all good, though. I'm pissed. I started thinking about all the ways they depend on me. Family chat? I set it up. I'm the one who keeps track of the bills, the shared stuff for the house, the group Netflix. I'm the one who calls the plumber when something leaks, the one who mows the yard when dad can't. I'm the reliable son. I thought about what would happen if I just didn't do any of that anymore. What if I left the group chat? What if I stopped paying the bills, stopped organizing the family stuff, stopped fixing things? What if I took my name off the accounts? So yeah, I started making a list. Every account I manage, every shared bill. I pay every favor I've done in the last year, every time my brother borrowed money and forgot to pay back, every time my parents called me to fix something. And I dropped everything to help. I messaged my brother. I said, "I hope you're having fun." He said, "Maybe you should learn to be more independent." I didn't even reply. My mom finally texted 2 days ago. She says, "We'll be back soon. Hope you're okay, sweetie." No apology. I didn't bother responding. I'm not gonna yell or slam doors or start a fight. I'm just done. I'm gonna make sure they feel it, though. The thing is, I know exactly how to get to them. Hit them where it stings. Not by yelling, but by pulling my weight out from under them. So next steps. I'm moving my stuff out of the shared spaces. I'm changing the passwords to anything with my name on it. I'm taking my name off the bills. I'm letting the group chat die. I'm not going to their next family dinner. Even if they beg, I'm not going to be the one who makes it all okay this time. I don't know. I guess I just needed to say it out loud. This story isn't over. I think they actually believe nothing's changed. But I'm done playing the bad guy for standing up for myself. Anyway, if you've ever had family treat you like a free ride, you probably get it. I'll post again if they ever bother to show up or realize what they've done. I'm not waiting on it, though. I've got other plans. Update 2. So yeah, I warned y'all last time I was done playing the backup plan. I was honestly waiting to see if anyone in my family would even notice the change, but what's wild is how long it took for the first ripple to hit. I guess when you're the one who quietly keeps everything running, no one really notices until stuff actually starts breaking down. The first real sign was so petty, but it made me laugh. My brother texted me asking for the code to the family storage unit. This isn't some random storage thing. This is where everyone dumps their winter gear, old books, even the ski stuff. He says, "Can you send the code?" I just replied, "Not available." He sends 3 question marks, then nothing. Next day, my mom messages asking why the autopay for the house insurance bounced. I tell her, "I took my name off the account. You'll have to set it up on your own." She says, "You can't just do that without telling us." I said, "You left me here. I'm not responsible for you anymore." I start getting more texts, this time from my dad, who barely messages unless it's something he wants fixed. He says, "This isn't like you." I say, "Yeah, it is now. I'm not out here looking for drama, but I'm also not carrying everyone anymore." I went through my bank and canceled every recurring payment tied to the house that was in my name. Utilities, Wi-Fi, even the trash pickup. I sent a polite notice to the shared email account saying if anyone wants to keep stuff running, they'll need to set it up themselves. Just facts, no drama. I know my brother's going to be the most pissed. He's always acted like I'm dramatic, but he's also happy to lean on me for everything. He's got some weird chip on his shoulder about me being the soft one. But when he needs a loan or a ride, suddenly I'm the only one he calls. I stopped answering his texts, just left them on read. Honestly, the most awkward part came when my parents came back from their trip. I could hear them upstairs, slamming doors, arguing. My mom stomped down the hallway and opened the basement door without knocking. She didn't even say hi, just started in. "Why are you acting like this? We're family. You can't just leave us hanging." I said, "You left me here alone after surgery." She said, "It was bad timing. Your brother planned the trip ages ago. We thought you'd be okay." I said, "I wasn't okay and you didn't care." She said I was being childish. I told her, "I'm not your safety net anymore." She slammed the door and stomped back up. My brother showed up that weekend probably because he wanted to yell in person. He let himself in and started with, "You're blowing this out of proportion. You want us to beg or something?" I said, "I want you to take care of your own mess for once." He got in my face, so I shoved him away. He tried to act tough, but honestly, he's all talk. He said, "You're ruining the family. Mom's upset. Dad's pissed." I said, "Maybe you should have thought about that before you left me here." He called me a jerk and stormed out. Meanwhile, stuff started piling up. Bills unpaid, mail stacking up. The yard hadn't been mowed in forever. That was always my job. I started seeing my dad try to mow it himself and give up halfway through, which NGL was a little satisfying. My uncle called me a couple days later asking what was going on because apparently my parents tried to get him to fix the Wi-Fi. I told him exactly what happened. He just kind of went quiet and said, "That's rough, but you know your mom. She hates conflict." I said, "Maybe she should try preventing it for once. It's not like everyone took my side." A couple cousins messaged saying, "You should just let it go, it's family." I told them they wouldn't have left you alone, so why is it okay for me? The thing that really got to them, though, was the money. My brother texted me furious because the next family event had to be rescheduled. I'm the one who always booked the place. My name's literally on the lease for the shared cabin. I told him not my problem. I'm removing myself from all agreements. He said I was being vindictive. I said, "I'm just doing what you taught me." Even my mom started calling multiple times a day, switching between angry and pleading. I kept it short. Not interested. Not my problem. I know some people are going to say this is petty, but honestly, it's not about revenge for the sake of it. It's about not letting them walk all over me again. They made it clear I'm just the help until I need something. So now they can see what it's like when I'm not around to bail everyone out. I started getting more bold. TBH. I called the bank and asked to split the joint account. Took my half, left them to sort their own stuff. I emailed the property manager of the family house, said all maintenance requests should go to my parents now, not me. I even blocked my brother on socials for a while, just so I wouldn't have to see his whiny posts about family betrayal. The best part? My phone's been blowing up. I haven't checked the group chat in days, but last I saw it was just non-stop messages. All of a sudden, everyone has urgent things that need fixing. Too late. I'm not gonna lie, it's not like I feel great about any of this. I'm still stuck in the basement most days, still limping around, still annoyed. I have to do so much just to get treated like a person. But I'm not backing down. This isn't a phase. I'm not their backup plan, and I never will be again. They can call, text, beg, whatever. I'm not changing my mind. I want them to learn the lesson I had to learn alone in this house. Next post is probably going to be the last because I think I've made my point. But yeah, if you're reading this and you're always the one holding your family together, don't be afraid to let them see what it's like without you. Sometimes being the bigger person just means putting your foot down and letting people clean up their own mess for once. Final update. You know what's wild? When your phone goes off so much, you have to turn it face down just to get a break from the noise. And it's all from the same people who left you on read when you needed them. I woke up today to 32 unread messages. I counted, just to be petty. It's all caps, it's all guilt, it's all begging. Please talk to us, please pick up, please don't do this. But 2 weeks ago, I was a ghost in my own house. I guess I knew it would blow up eventually, but not like this. I thought they'd get annoyed, maybe start some drama, but this was next level. It's been 2 weeks since I cut myself out of everything. No more paying the bills, no more fixing stuff, no more being the backup plan. I moved all my stuff from the shared spaces. I took my name off every account I could. I told the property manager to send everything their way. I even put the spare keys in an envelope and left them on the kitchen counter. I didn't slam the door, but I didn't look back either. The funny thing is, the first couple days were just silent. My parents came home acting like nothing happened. My brother texted me about some dumb meme, like we hadn't just had it out. My mom left a voicemail saying, "Hope you're resting up. Let us know if you need anything." I just deleted it. I saw the trash piling up, the yard a mess, the mail getting soggy on the porch, and for once, I didn't do a thing. Then I heard my mom and dad fighting upstairs about the bills. My mom was sure I'd just forgotten to pay. I could hear my dad muttering that this was what happens when people get too comfortable. My brother tried to act like he didn't care, but then he called me 3 times in a row, and when I didn't answer, he came over and banged on the door. I let him yell for a bit, but I kept the door locked. He said I was being immature. I heard him kick the recycling bin. Real mature. My aunt texted me a few days later. She said, "Your mom's worried. Can you call her?" I told her, "I'm fine." She typed, "Are you sure you're not overreacting?" I sent her a picture of my empty kitchen from last week, just for fun. She didn't reply. My cousin messaged me later on Instagram saying, "I should just let it go, family's family." I said, "Not when they leave you to rot and go ski." He left me on scene. The best part was watching them scramble. My brother tried to organize a family dinner. Usually, I'm the one who does the invites, the group chat reminders, the booking. He sent a mass text, but half the people didn't reply. My parents tried to get into the storage unit, the one I changed the code for, and I guess they actually called customer service to complain. I got a call from the manager asking if I wanted to transfer the account. I said, "Yes, make it theirs, I'm done." My dad finally snapped and started in with the classic lines. "You're blowing this out of proportion. You're making your mother sick with worry." I told him I was sick and you all went skiing. He hung up. I started seeing little things change. My mom couldn't figure out the online bill pay and called me about it. I said, "I'm not on those accounts anymore. Ask Dad." She said I was being cruel. I said, "I'm just taking care of myself like you told me to." She slammed the phone down. I saw my brother at the store last week, awkward as hell. He tried to joke, "So you're ghosting the whole family now?" I just looked at him and said, "You said you're not my servant, so I guess you don't need me for anything." He tried to laugh it off, but I walked away. The final straw was the group chat. It's just a wall of messages now. My mom, my dad, my brother, even my aunt, all spamming me. "Please talk to us, we're begging. What do you want from us? We're family." We didn't mean it. 32 messages in a single morning, and not a single one of them says sorry. Not once. I'm not going to pretend this was easy. It sucked. It still sucks. I'm still limping around, still figuring out how to do stuff for myself, but at least I know I'm not doing it for people who'd leave me behind. I've got my own account now, my own stuff in my room, my own groceries in my fridge. I only talk to the neighbor, and honestly, he's more helpful than my family ever was. I don't know if they'll ever get it. Maybe they'll just move on and pretend none of this happened. Maybe my mom will keep telling people I'm going through something. Maybe my brother will keep making jokes about me being dramatic. I don't really care anymore. I'm not blocking them, but I'm not answering either. I let the messages pile up. Sometimes I scroll through just to see how desperate it gets. I know it sounds petty, but honestly, after everything, it feels right. If you're waiting for the part where we all hug it out or whatever, that's not happening. I'm not the family fixer anymore. They showed me what I meant to them. I'm just returning the favor. So yeah, 32 messages, all begging, all too late. I'm good right here. If anything wild happens, maybe I'll update, but TBH, I think this is the end of it for me. If you're reading this and you're always the one cleaning up after everyone, maybe just stop and see what happens. You might be surprised how fast they notice you're gone.